if you didn't sleep under a rock in 2025, you have seen the crazy movement of everyone trying to get rich and also documenting it on YouTube. And a bunch of people succeed. And they then ask people like me. I don't say that I'm super wealthy, but if I asked the version of me 2 years ago if I'm successful, then I would say yes, because I'm living on my own in Bali and I have complete freedom in everything, and I'm working with the most awesome guys in the world. But that only came with the sacrifice, and that is friends. And that is a topic that a lot of people ask me about, and a lot of people don't understand, and they interpret them. Yes, that's what I mean. Like they take it the wrong way. They think that you're super arrogant, and some people also do it the wrong way. But having high quality friends is not the same thing as having normal friends like you used to have. In high school, I'm super grateful for every friend that I ever had. Let that be clear. I will never feel better than anyone. You just have different goals out of life. So I had a bunch of friends in high school. I'm now 22, so that is like 5, 6 years ago. And I was drinking almost every weekend, if not every other weekend, you know. So at least twice a month, I was drinking alcohol and I was going out and having fun and whatever. But those people, they don't want the same thing as I want. They are happy. Well, one of the guys is a farmer. He's a very cool guy actually, but I just never speak to him anymore because we don't have any talking points. Like we don't do something that we can talk about, like something that is matching. So then you never speak again. But he is just a very cool guy, very chill, but he doesn't want to like get online famous and get all those viewers, and he doesn't want all of this. He doesn't want a big Instagram. He doesn't want to have this whole entrepreneurship thing. He just is fine with having his farm. He wants to take over the farm from his dad and just do that as the family business. And for an example, and I will never think of him less. No matter how rich I become or how successful I become, I will never think of him less, because he doesn't have those ambitions. That's just everyone's own choice. Like, if you want it or not, like, that's on you. If you want it, then you fucking have to work for it, bro, because it's not going to be easy. But that's the only way that I will respect someone. But I also respect those old friends because they just want that. And that's okay. I don't. So then there's no reason to speak because you don't have any talking points, if that makes sense. So what's the real truth behind dropping friends and making new high quality friends in entrepreneurship? It's necessary. It is the biggest change that you will ever have, ever. For example, those friends would never push me to go to the gym. They would always ask me to go drink. They would never stimulate me, like reinforce me doing good habits. My friends now, if I do something cool and like delayed gratification that's actually cringe in the other friends' their eyes, like going to the gym, going into cold plunge, cold approaching girls, for example, my current friends would promote that. They would say that I'm a G for doing that, even though it sounds cringe, but that's how the group chat goes. DHV activities. But the old friends, they would say, "Oh, why are you doing that? Like, probably personally wouldn't do that." It's different. They don't reinforce your entrepreneurship behavior. Obviously, like cold plunges and cold approaches are not directly entrepreneurship behavior, but also just working for 15 hours a day. Some of my old friends, I still I speak to them sometimes. They text me on Instagram and they say, "Oh, it's so boring what you're doing. Like you're only working all the time." And I'm like, for you, that's boring because you don't want to obtain a net worth of $1 billion in net worth. Like I want to be worth $1 billion in net worth in public valuation sometime in my life, and you're not going to get there if you don't work. And they are fine with their current situation and they want to go out and they want to celebrate King's Day and all those stupid parties. That's okay, that aligns with their goals, but they will never reinforce me to read more, to watch podcasts. Like I have this Naval podcast. Mike Thurston, no, Chris Williamson did a podcast with Naval, and I'm completely breaking that whole podcast down with a friend of mine. Every like single interesting topic we speak about it with voice memos. My other friends would say it's weird and cringe and gay to do that, but now with the new entrepreneurship friend that I have, we have the same goals. So we really want to understand our psychologically, whatever, subconscious and like your whole brain, how you think and why you think certain things and what kind of decisions you need to make in certain situations. And Naval, for example, he goes really deep into that. So for us, it's interesting to watch that. So that friend reinforces me to do something good for my goals. And the other friends would say, oh, it's gay. Like, even though they're good people, they would say it's gay because they don't understand it. It's way too far from their bed, basically. Just like I call their partying gay because I think it's instant gratification, but they find fun in that or whatever. So I will never speak less of them, even though I just did. But you know what I mean. Like, I will always have a good word about them. So what are these high tier friends and how do you treat them and how does that work? Wait, am I actually sharp? Yeah, I'm actually sharp. I don't see anything in those glasses. So like as in the lines of my camera. So how do you speak with your and how do you find those high tier friends and that will reinforce your behavior in entrepreneurship and cold plunges and going to the gym, for example, self improvement? You find them by going onto forums. That's what I did, and making YouTube videos so they can see you pop up on the home screen. You can find them via networking, but I found them. How did I find them? One of them was via YouTube. So the guy that I worked with, Josh, I found him via YouTube. I commented under his videos for 4 or 5 months until I got a chance to work for him. And then eventually now I'm working with him directly every single day. And the other friends were from school. So Hamza at the time was a creator that I was following, self-improvement creator. And I went to his forum and I just started texting people, or I got some status in that school community because I provided a lot of value. And then people started DMing me like, hey, I think you're a cool guy. I think you are knowledgeable. Maybe want to connect. And then I went on some calls with some people, and then you pick the people that like you vibe with basically, and you become friends with them. And then they develop, so they become more wealthy and more skillful. You do that, and then you can still be friends. If they stay behind, I personally wouldn't really speak to them anymore because in entrepreneurship you only have friends that you exchange value with. It sounds very arrogant, and maybe it is as well, but you have to be very selfish as an entrepreneur because your time is super valuable. And if you want to become worth $1 billion in public valuation, then you're not going to talk to people and do free work for everyone all the time because then you just don't have enough time in your life to reach that valuation. And one of my goals is that. So then I prioritize not talking to them and doing work. So what's important in having those friends and how does that situation work? So for me, it went quite painful, to be really honest, because I cut off all my old friends because they were still partying and they were still doing the stupid shit. And I was like, yeah, this is totally not my personality anymore. I completely changed my personality after watching those self-improvement videos, aligned way more with my purpose, with who I am, ambitious, happy, energy, like a lot of energy. I want to inspire people, etc. And just that lifestyle didn't fit me. I just did it to be part of a group and I didn't know better. So then I watched the self-improvement videos and I was like, oh, this is way more like me. And I started doing the habits. And then those older friends, they didn't do that. So I couldn't speak about the habits and the whole situation with them. So it was like, this kind of sucks. I can't speak about the things that I care about with them. And they constantly talk about things that I don't care about. So then I just cut them off. I don't talk to them anymore. I didn't send them a message like, hey, we're not friends anymore. No, you just don't talk to them anymore. When they ask you to go to Discord, you don't reply. Super simple. Or you say like, hey, I'm busy with work, I can't. And then whatever they call you boring, you just reply, hey, I'm too busy getting rich or something corny, whatever. You can pick that yourself. And then you just start building this network. I waited a bit too long with that. So for me, it was 1.5 years ago. It was in the winter. I remember it very vividly. It was very painful. It was very lonely. I was crying in my room at least every week once. And it is not very masculine to say this, and it is not very cool to say this, but it is true. Because I have no one to talk to. My sister was in a university. My brother was also doing university in the Netherlands. I was living at home at the time with them. My parents were working a 9 to 5. All my friends were studying to become some sort of degree or 9 to 5 job, and they didn't do any of the self-improvement habits or some way of improving yourself, going to the gym, nothing. Some of them went to the gym, so I went to the gym with them, but I had nothing to talk about with them. So then that also stops. You're still doing it because you don't enjoy the time anymore. So what would I recommend? Go to forums on School, Whoop. You have a bunch of platforms now, even WhatsApp groups, whatever, and just do the difficult task. Reach out to people that you don't know. That's the only way. Like, how are you ever gonna find people that you want to talk with if you don't speak to people that you don't know? If you want to do the more painful option, you can go to a cafe or networking events. I have some very good friends now from entrepreneurship events that I went to. that I can always ask them if I need their skill, because then they have a certain skill. And then if I need them, I know who I need to find, because then I know the person behind the product is good. So I'm sure that the product is also good. That's the power of networking and knowing people. You just pull the string whenever you need them, when you have value to exchange. So it's very simple. Find someone on your level, because people above you, they don't want to talk to you unless you're doing work for them that's very good. But no one that's above you want to talk to you if you don't have any value to exchange, because you're just simply too busy. They're not going to waste their time talking to you. It's very harsh, very real. They won't. Maybe out of their good heart, they will do it for like 2 messages per week, but then it will be very slow and they won't prioritize you at all. So find someone at your level or below. It's also completely okay. Be the guy that is talking to people below you. One of my friends is 31 years old, super jacked, very masculine guy, and he helped me so much with masculinity and getting girls. And it's actually funny. I don't want to go too deep into it, but I have so many girls lined up, and I need to focus. I can't be degenerate, and I made a rule that I can only see a new one every week and speak with them, like see them twice a week. But it's funny that friend now sees the results of how he helped me, but that's irrelevant for this video. I'm a degenerate, I know, I don't care. Let me live my life. It's just fun, okay? And that's a friend that was above me in a lot of cases, in masculinity, in maturity, in money. He was above me, but he didn't master the online skill. He didn't know how to make money online at all. He didn't understand YouTube. He didn't understand content creation, how to physiologically, like how to play with emotion in videos, etc. And I knew that. I already made a lot of mistakes in YouTube videos, so I understood how to do that. So I helped him with his YouTube channel. I edited his videos, I made his thumbnails, I gave him ideas to record videos for, and he helped me with becoming a man, because I was a 21-year-old doofus. I didn't know anything, and he helped me with that. So that's a value exchange. Even though he was above me, I had a very valuable skill that he needed. So then you become friends, and now we are very good friends, and I want to live with him very, very soon. It's probably going to happen. We're probably both going to fly out to America and see the boys there. So that's only because there's a value exchange. So find someone in your same niche. You're not going to be friends. Like, I'm in the YouTube creative space, so I help entrepreneurs to grow their YouTube channels and get organic leads to their business. I'm not going to become very good friends with an e-commerce guy, because you still don't have any touch points. You don't have any talking points. So then you get in the same situation, but you're just both hardworking and disciplined, but you have nothing to talk about. All my friends now, they have skills that I need, a value exchange. So Steven is AI. He helps the whole team. He works with us with AI. Moise is also YouTube creative. He's good at funnels. He understands how all the systems work. And then everyone in the group has a role. But the only reason why we talk to each other is because there's a value exchange. Let me think about this. I never speak to people that I don't work with. No, just one friend from the Netherlands, my best friend from like 17 years. But I also want to work with him. Like, I try to find a way to work with them, because then I can justify talking to them. That's how ambitious people, at least, I don't want to call myself successful. I find it very cringe. But that's how ambitious people think. If there is no reason to talk, don't talk. It's super simple. Like I just said, I have 200 girls in Tinder that want to meet up with me. I'm not gonna do that. I only have the value exchange of doing that with the pretty ones, with the ones that also put in the effort in the gym, and that are looking good, that are putting effort into their looks. It's a value exchange. You have to be at a certain status. I have a lot of like Goombas on Tinder that are very ugly and very fat. But I'm sure if they put in the effort into their physique and in their looks, and they try to eat healthy and be active, they would be fucking like pretty. They would be very, very pretty and attractive. But it's just, you attract people that put in effort. You know what I mean? So I don't want to use myself as an example. Let's use Josh as an example. Josh is making up to 100k per month, something like that, but he spends a lot of money as well on business, so he doesn't have 100k profit. Doesn't matter. The guy makes a lot of revenue. I know that because I work with him daily. He doesn't speak to someone that doesn't provide any value to him. The only people that he talks to are exchanging value with him. And I see his comments on all his videos, because I manage all his videos. There are a bunch of guys that want to work with him, or a bunch of girls that want to sleep with him. Everyone wants his attention, but he just ignores it completely because he only talks to the people that have the same goals, that are exchanging value with him. AI guys, editors, thumbnail designers, creative people like me. I'm working in the team directly, but he also delegates a lot of it to me. So to not make this video too long because it's already on 15 minutes, the friendship thing is real, super important. Find friends on the same level or below you that are very ambitious, because Steven, that friend of the 31-year-old friend of mine, he only spoke to me because he saw that spark in my eyes, like that ambition. Otherwise, he also wouldn't, because you're not gonna talk to people that don't have the same goals. That's the whole point of this video. So don't send your friends a message like, "Hey, we're not gonna be friends anymore." No, that's fucking cringe. Don't do that. Just stop talking to them whenever they invite you to the general stuff. You can try to get them into the self-improvement stuff. I tried it with a bunch of them. Like, hey, you should start making videos. It's good for your personal brand. If you learn your skill and you sell it via freelancing, you can start hiring people. You can scale your business and make money online and reach the goals that you want to do and not have a boss. But 75 or 80% ignored it completely, and they're still in the terrible situation that they are in. Because I asked them at the time, do you like this position? They all said no. But they still stay in there because they don't want to do uncomfortable work. And the ambitious, hardworking guys only become friends with other entrepreneurs, hardworking guys in the same space, in the same niche. I'm done yapping. See you in the next video. Bye.